Hi guys, Voinski, and today we're talking about cutting carbs. The first essential of a keto diet is cutting your carb intake. And what does that look like? How do you do that? And what things do you need to cut out and what things can you keep in, right? So really quickly, I'll just let you know that my carb intake, I do 10% carbs a day. Some people do 5%. It really depends on what you want to do. So I do 70% fat, 20% protein, 10% carbs. And what that means for me, especially when I started, was that I was eating about 30 grams or less carbs each day. So immediately, what are you cutting out? You're cutting out bread, pasta, cereals. You are cutting out things like starchy fruit and starchy veggies. So potatoes, gone. Apples, bananas, full of carbs, and you would think fruit is great for you, but really it's just ton of sugar. So you want to cut all of those things out. And there are ways around these carbs that you can still be eating really awesome food. So as you're cutting out things like your flour and wheat and breads, pastas, corn, you're cutting out all of those things. And yeah, your fruit, you want to look at that. Any vegetables that grow in the ground, cut them out. So potatoes, carrots, gone. Beets, gone. Even onions have some carbs, but you can do them sparingly and sauteed in lots of fatty butter, which is great, right? So what can you do? You can get your carbs that you will be eating through things like vegetables, berries, almond flour, coconut flour. You can actually even use pork rinds and crunch them up to make breadcrumbs. You're going to want to remove all fried food, anything that's breaded. However, you can do fried wings that are unbreaded, which is amazing. So you can still do your chicken wings, just no breading. You can still do meatballs, meatloaf, just cut out your breading and use pork rinds instead. I've done this and I'm super picky about my meatloaf and my meatballs, and trust me, it tastes exactly the same because you can still use all the other stuff that you put in there. Unless you put ketchup in your meatloaf, then you're going to want to skip that. But there are so many options. So you want to stay under 30 grams of carbs, whether you're doing 10% or 5, that's up to you. You can go ahead and check out how to use the Carb Manager app in our other videos that I have on my channel, and you'll be able to see how to set that up for yourself so that as you track it, you make sure that you're right on target with what you want to do. And as you're cutting out breads, pastas, all those things, potatoes, you're going to think that you're going to be missing a lot of stuff, like your sugar you want to cut out, right? Ice cream, desserts. But guess what? There are keto options for all of those things. You can check out my channel. You can find different ideas. You can go on Pinterest. You can go on Google, and you can find ways to make sweet, awesome fat bombs, chocolate peanut butter ones I've made on my channel. They're so good, and it's like a Reese's peanut butter cup, and you're not getting any of that crazy sugar that you would be normally getting by just eating a piece of candy, right? So there are things and ways around working out these carbs and removing them. You want to cut them, you want to get them out, but trust me, once you start doing it, you will feel so great, and you're not going to be missing like a big piece of bread. And there are ways around that too. You can look up cloud bread online. We can still have pizza. We just make keto pizza. You can use a cauliflower crust, or you can actually use what something people call fathead dough, or I've actually used it with a personal pizza where the size is actually a wrap. It's a low in carb wrap. I don't use wraps every day because I want to get my carbs from my things like my vegetables and stuff like that. But it's definitely okay once in a while. So I hope that was helpful for you guys as you start to begin to think, what can I do to cut out carbs? How can I replace those carbs in my life? If I want to make biscuits, use almond flour, use coconut flour. There are ways to make pancakes. You can find that on my channel as well. Super yummy. There are ways around this no carb lifestyle, and let me tell you, it is so delicious and so good. So what substitutes are you guys using as you take out carbs? What are you replacing it with? I would love to see. Drop it in the comment section. Go ahead, like this video if it was helpful to you, subscribe, hit the bell, get notified of new content coming out routinely. And until then, I'll talk to you guys later.